Elections in the United States are coming in just a couple of weeks. My first question would be, how was this election race different than the previous?
Well, it's been dramatically different because the candidates have been so different from each other, and we've never had a candidate for president before who has not held some kind of elected office, and Donald Trump has never served in any political office. So it's been unusual. He hasn't operated by the rules that most politicians operate by, and it's been very unconventional and challenging, I think, to journalists.
And we've never had a presidential candidate attack the news media before. In almost every speech Donald Trump gives, he attacks the news media. He doesn't just attack his opponent, Hillary Clinton, he attacks us as well. And also, we've never had a presidential candidate in a debate say that he's going to send his opponent to jail if he's elected. Trump says if he is elected president and moves into the White House, he's going to put Hillary Clinton in prison. Well, we've just never had language like that before in presidential debates. It just, there's no precedent. And also, Trump can't really do that if he's elected president. You have to have a trial by jury in the United States. You can't just put someone in jail. Maybe Adolf Hitler could do that. Maybe Joseph Stalin could do that. But we don't do that in the United States.
How is media regulated when it comes to ethics? What is ethical to be published? What is balanced reporting? What is fair coverage of elections? Is there some kind of regulation?
Well, there, of course, are always laws. There are defamation laws and espionage laws, and so that those can be used if someone thinks that a journalist has gone too far or a news organization has gone too far in a certain case. And the broadcast media are regulated by the Federal Communications Commission, but they regulate licensing. They regulate. They keep the broadcast signals from interfering with each other, which is why they grant the licenses. They really don't get into the content very much at all. They certainly don't get into the news content. There are rules about political broadcasting outside of news programming, so that if a station decides that they want to give a half an hour to one candidate to make a presentation of their own to the audience, they also have to be willing to give a similar time at a similar period of the day to an opposing candidate. So there's regulation that way, but within a newscast itself, it's really up to the editorial discretion of the producers of how they're going to present the stories. And in most cases, they'll present both. I mean, you usually on one of the nightly newscasts, you'll see a report on Trump followed by a report on Hillary Clinton. So it's pretty balanced, just as an editorial matter.
It really is self-regulation. And one big reason for that is that if a network such as ABC, I worked for ABC News for 17 years, let's say ABC only put on stories that were favorable to Hillary Clinton. Well, the audience wouldn't like that. A lot of the audience wouldn't like that. And the advertisers, which support the networks, wouldn't like that. And the commercials, which pay the salaries of journalists, could go away. So it's really self-regulation because of the commercial marketplace, I think.